Okay, so in the picture here, it's kind of like this. Okay, this goes with the directions up here. So anyway, point A is being rotated around point P. Okay, you can see it's got an angle measure of 110 degrees there, and it goes to A prime. Okay, notice also that the distance from A to P is the same as the distance from P to A prime, right? A does not get any closer or further away after it's rotated, which makes sense. It's rotated, so it should be the same distance, okay? So that's why they have those little tick marks there to show that. Okay, so we're going to actually do a rotation right here, okay, in the space provided. This is actually like step 1 and actually goes through like all the steps in the book here. We're going to do those together rather than just like reading through it. We're just going to do it here together. Okay. Well, actually, let's see it happen maybe, and then we'll do it on our own right here at this one. So the directions here are for letter A. We're going to do a counterclockwise rotation. So first of all, we have to understand, right, counterclockwise. If you get confused about what counterclockwise or clockwise is, you can look back at the clock there, right? Okay. So clockwise is this direction, right, and counterclockwise is then the other direction, the opposite direction from the way a clock goes. Okay, so we're going to go counterclockwise. That means we're going to take this and rotate it this direction, okay, 150 degrees. So if you look here, here's what we're going to do. Let's go over all the directions first, and then we'll actually do it. Okay, so the first thing they have us do is draw segment PA. So we draw a segment from P to A. And then we use a protractor to draw a ray that forms a 150 degree angle with PA. So we draw a segment PA and we draw an angle that's 150 degrees using our protractor. Okay, so that's another segment right there. Okay. And they say to use a ruler, but we're actually going to use our patty paper at this point. Okay, we're going to then trace out triangle ABC and point P in this segment, and we're going to rotate until we get to this side, and we're going to copy down our triangle there using our patty paper. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you here. All right, so the first thing we got to do here is draw a segment from P to A. Now it doesn't have to be from P to A. You can draw your segment from P to B or from P to C, but I always like to pick the closest point just because it's the closest point. Okay, so it makes it easy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So go ahead and draw a segment from P to A. Use your protractor, you get a nice straight line. Okay. I'm sorry, Haley, didn't mean to miss you there. Everyone else has got one, though. Okay, good. Okay, so there's our nice straight line. And now what we're going to do is take... Oh, well, I got to get a better pencil here, it looks like. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put our patty paper on top. Okay, of this. Like so, and I'm not gonna put it straight in the center. I'm gonna try and like use my patty paper economically here. So I'm gonna put it kind of like up in the corner there. But you want to make sure you get the whole thing on there, so you can see that I've got point P is covered, A, B, and C as well. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna copy point P on there, and then also A, B, and C. Okay, if you want to label them, that's fine. If you want, you can see that there's A, there's B, there's C, like that. Okay, just to help you remember. And then we also need to copy that little segment we drew, the segment PA. Okay, we also need to copy that little segment that we drew, segment PA. You can redo the whole thing if you want to. But you actually don't. We don't need to redraw the whole thing, but this PA we definitely need, and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so there's what I recopied. If you want to see, like there's what I recopied. Okay, I guess I could name P as well. But yeah, Jade, that was you, Jade, that asked that. Yeah, if you just want to recopy the whole thing, that's not wrong. You can do that if you want. Okay, so now I've got the copy, but I still have to like somehow show a 150-degree turn, and that's where our protractor is going to come in. So you're going to put your protractor down. And by the way, guys, if you're having trouble with your protractor, you can feel free to tear these pages out if you want. If you want to just tear the page out so it lays flat on your desk, if you want to do that, okay, that's not a bad idea. You still want to put it on the...
It is on 30 is on.
Right, what I mean is you want to put your protractor flat against this segment PA, like the bottom of it.
That's what I did.
And then you're going to do 150 degrees?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Yeah, mine doesn't really have a hole either. Okay, so again, once you got your page turned out, we're going to put our protractor down right on top of PA there, so it's lined up. Okay, now granted, your different protractors might line up differently. Right, so for example, mine, the one I have right here, I put it right on the bottom. But this one that has a dot in it, so if you have one that's like that, come up. If you have this one, okay, like mine, then the dot goes right over the point P, and you want to line up the line right there, like that, so it's reading from 0. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my original one here, though. Okay. And so we want to go counterclockwise 150 degrees. So counterclockwise means I'm going to go this direction, right? From here all the way around. All right, so 1 second. Let me finish with this, okay, and then I'll get your questions, Jason. Okay, so now, which set of numbers do I want to read from? Do I want to read from my outer set of numbers or my inner set of numbers here? The inner, because it starts at 0, right? And this is where our side of our angle is, so it starts at 0. So we're going to count out to 150 right here. I'm going to make a little mark. Okay, now, Jason, you have a question?
Yeah, but we're not at that.
Not there yet? Okay, when we get to it, I'll try and pause here, okay? So there's 150 degrees. And then I'm going to take my straight edge of my protractor, and I'm going to then connect P to that line there, just like that. Okay, and I drew it a little bit long, that's okay. Do it one more time? Sure. So I put the protractor down on PA, because we're trying to draw the angle from PA. Okay, protractor flat against PA, and I'm going to read my inner set of numbers here, because the inner set starts at 0, and that's what I need. So I start at 0, we're going, and it also goes then counterclockwise. So counterclockwise, backwards kind of, to 150, put a little mark, and then draw from P through that mark there, so you have a 150 degree angle. Good now, Jaden? Anyone? Who question chart is? One more time, sure. So the protractor centered on point P, with the side kind of lined up there. Okay, and then we're going to count from the inner set of numbers, because they start at 0. That's a 0 degree angle there. So we count from the inner set, and we go around to 150 right here, and then you make a mark, and then draw through. Okay, draw a straight edge from P through that point. Okay, now, everyone up to that point, we're good? Now we're going to take our patty paper, okay, and we've got our points lined up there originally, but we need to rotate it counterclockwise. I'm going to put my pencil point on that point P, and you can't see because of my hand there, but if I put my pencil point on point P, and then I should be able to turn my paper, and hopefully P will kind of stay the same, and it did for the most part. You might have to adjust it a little bit here. I'm going to readjust my paper. So keep P on point P, but make PA line back up there again. So again, you see how we've had PA? It was here lined up, and now we're just going to rotate it so that it lines back up over here. Do not flip or turn your paper, right? We are just rotating. So from here, rotate it about point P, so it lines back up right there. And there we've done the rotation. So there's where A, B, and C should line up. But the problem...
My patty paper will circle things.
What's that?
My patty paper won't, you know how you press on it and circle it? It's because you're on the wrong side.
Right, exactly. There's no points on the back. So here's what you can do. You have two options. If you want, option A, you can use your sharp pencil point and just kind of like try and poke through. If you want, I don't know if that will work. That doesn't really work. Yeah, so here's your other option. Somewhere else, okay, you need to like kind of flip your patty paper over and draw on the backs of these points.
Or you can just poke a hole through it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do though. You can do it if you want to poke the holes, you can. Draw on the back of your points and then place them back where they're supposed to go, and then they should transfer. Okay, so if you draw on the backs of your points, they will transfer. Like that. And then you can connect the dots.
A prime, like B prime?
Yes, very good. Right. Why do we have to do that now? Because we transformed these. Okay, so that would be A prime, this is B prime, and that's C prime. That'll be on the quiz, yes. On the quiz. But that's why we're going to practice some more tomorrow, too. Okay, so let me review. Okay, because there's a lot of steps there. Okay, we connected PA. We then recopied PA and the points A, B, and C. Okay, we drew the 150-degree angle using our protractor, and then we rotated our paper that 150 degrees, but the problem was we couldn't transfer the points. Jason, correctly pointed out, we weren't able to transfer the points because we didn't draw on the backs. We had to flip our paper over, draw on the backs of those points, and then we put it back. We can now transfer the points like that, and then connect the dots and make our shape. And you can erase back this little line here, too. We don't really need that. Okay, and there it is. Rotated, 150 degrees. Okay. And P to A prime is equal to P to A as well, so you can put that little mark in there if you want. All right, let's try it again. Let's do it one more time here. Together. All right, so letter B. We're going to do this one now. Letter B says a clockwise rotation. Actually, first of all, any questions on any of that we just did? What's that?
Have a new patty or paper because this one's great.
It's okay, just use a different section of it. You'll be okay. Just use a different section of it. Okay? But I'll get you one. I mean, and Jason, if you really want another one, you can come up running. Yeah, but if you, in the future, if you need one, you can go up and get one. So, clockwise rotation of 75 degrees around point Q. Okay? So if you look here at the picture right away, guys, okay, what should we draw from Q? Which one of the points should we probably pick here?
Q and D.
Yeah, Q to D, I would say. And it even says in the step 1 there, draw segment QD. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll draw segment Q to D. Okay, draw segment Q to D. Okay, so this is page 89. It's the next page. Sorry, it's the next page, guys. 89. Yeah, if you want to tear this one out, this one will lay flat, but if you want to tear it out, just keep it with the rest of it. That's fine. Okay. We're actually going to be using up through page... Where did I put my paper? I don't know, but we're going to be using up through probably, we'll see. Maybe it's like 90... I don't know. We'll see. Just keep it, handy there, because I can't remember where I put it. Oh, there it is. Up to page 96, at least, so, okay. We'll see if we get there today. We might not because of the time, because these take a little bit of time. All right, so anyway, we're going to rotate this 75 degrees clockwise. That means this direction. Right? Okay, clockwise. So that means we're going to go from QD, we're going to go down this way somewhere. Okay? So, what's that? Yeah, well, so we're not there yet. First we want to recopy, right? We're going to copy on here. So I'm going to and if you're reusing patty paper, sometimes you might want to scribble out the section that you already used or something, just to help you kind of not get, distracted or whatever, All right, so I'm going to reuse my patty paper here. I'm going to draw on the points. So there's point Q, D, E, and F. Okay, remember we want to draw QD as well. We want to redraw that segment QD. Or if Jaden said, if you want to just recopy the whole thing, that's fine too. Okay, Jaden, she likes to copy the whole thing down, and that's okay. You can feel free to do that. Okay, I'm a little bit lazy. I want to save myself a little bit of time, so I'm only going to copy those things. You can see them right there. Okay. Okay. So there it is, matched up. Okay, everyone good so far on that? All right, now the next thing. Am I going to put my protractor like this? No. Because I am not trying to rotate counterclockwise here. I'm trying to rotate clockwise. So I have to turn my protractor and line it up on the bottom. Like that. Okay? If you don't like how your protractor is turned, if you don't like this, if it's uncomfortable for you, turn your book. Turn your book so that your protractor is lined up a normal kind of direction, okay, facing you. That's fine.
And you put your little cross thing on D, right?
On Q. On Q. Because we're rotating about Q, that's our center of rotation, so it should center on Q. Now, here's the next question. Which set of numbers should I use on my protractor here? Should I start with the 180 degree, the inner markings, or should I start with the 0 degree? The outside markings in my case. Now, your protractor might be different the way you have it set up, but I need to use the outside markings here because I'm starting at 0 and I'm going to open up this way. So we go from 0 to 70. I got to go 75, which is halfway, so that's like right there between 80 and 70. So there's my 75 degree mark. Okay, outer markings up to 75, and then we're going to connect from Q to that point. Okay, that's a 75 degree angle right there. I'm going to turn my paper back the correct direction there now. Okay, so there's 75 degrees. How come? Just to show that the angle is 75 degrees. Okay.
No, how come you don't draw an arrow on the end?
Oh, at the end of this? We could. You could. Okay, now we're going to take our patty paper, right? And we're going to rotate it down clockwise to line up. Okay? By the way, when I rotate it here, should I rotate it so that E is rotated? Like, is this right? Is this right? Is this right?
No.
Not quite. It's got to be D, right? It's QD that rotated, so we're going to rotate the QD to the other side there, okay? QD needs to line up. Okay? Now, my problem, though, right? If I go to transfer, it's not going to transfer because I didn't draw on the back. So I got to flip my paper over real quick. I got to draw on the backs of points D, E, and F. And then when I put it again, line up, now it will transfer. Question for Mel? Bathroom? Yeah, 1 second. Let me finish this and I'll let you go here, okay? So D, E, and F. Okay, so there's D prime, there's E prime, there's F prime. All right, if you want to bring it up here, remote. What was the trouble? How to get the points?
I did it the other one. Like, I put it on the
You did it the other way. Let me come back, take a look real quick here. Okay. Yep, that's good. So you got D and D line up. And so then you just got to transfer your points. You just draw on the back. You just draw some on the back, and then it'll transfer over. All right. So look what you drew. 40 degrees counterclockwise. So you're right. You're going to rotate counterclockwise. Right. Right. So that lines up. There you go. That's it. Yep. Okay. It does because when you're flipping your paper over and draw on the backs, those then transfer because you've drawn on that side. So, okay. So questions on any of that? All right. So let's go ahead and flip over to page 4 and 5. I want you to try that on your own right now. 4 and 5. Do those two, please. Okay. So 4 and 5. Give those a shot. Try that on your own. I'll come around and help as needed. Okay, if there are no questions. So page 90, number 4 and 5, please.
Are these the last problems
We're going to look at one more little thing, but then yes, that's pretty much it. We'll do the coordinate notation tomorrow because the drawing takes quite a bit.
more, Charlie? No. Here we are.
Mr. Wynn,
Yes.
I have a question.
What's up?
I don't know what number it is.
Sorry?
I don't know what number is that one.
Okay, so you're rotating from this, you go this direction, right? So you want to start at the 0, because that's what this angle is 0, and then you want to open up, so it's going to enter. Always start with a set of numbers that has 0 on your starting side of your angle, Eva. I'm going to do it too. And if you guys use up all your patty paper and you want to go get another piece, there's more up front on that table there. But I think you should be able to, if you use your paper economically, you should be good. And make sure you're rotating the correct direction. First one's 40 degrees counterclockwise, and then 5 is clockwise, so you're changing your direction of rotation.
So counterclockwise, up, not down, right?
In number 4's case, yes, it will be up. But it really depends on the orientation sometimes.
Could you use inside numbers?
For which set? For the first one?
Yeah.
Which one starts with 0 when you put it on your side? Which one has your side starting at 0? I'll come back here and take a look here.
Yeah, this is the inside one.
You have it lined up. So yeah, if you go over to here, that's your side of your angle right there. Okay, so that's the starting side of your angle right here. So which one of these set of numbers starts here? Intersect.
It's not.
Yeah, you're drawing it straight ahead. Yeah, that's good so far. So this one should. This one I think you may measure the wrong set of numbers. So there's 125. You want it to go, you want to use the outer step. And how do I know you use the outer step for this one? Because again, here's your starting side, and you want it so it starts at 0. Your starting side always starts at 0, and then you're going to that way, so it should come out to here. The good news is you can fix it real quick. Okay. And then you can just reuse your, whichever one that was, the TUS one, and then just rotate it to this side. So you can make it 2 weeks away. So it's easy to fix. Yeah. But remember, did you go on the back to these points?
No.
So yeah, you go ahead and do that. Yep. Then flip it over, back over again. Okay. All right, Ramel, you got this done?
No, it says use a protractor.
Great, welcome back. Let's start here then on, I'm going to put those two, okay? Oh, let me know.
It's hard to get the swing on. No, it's difficult. It's hard to it's a protractor.
Make sure you label your points with primes, please.
Oh, we're supposed to.
Once you rotate, label them with the primes. That's how I know it's the transformed version.
Get over the rim.
Okay.
Mr. Wynn,
Yes, ma'am.
I was, rotating my triangle,
Okay.
and somehow a point fell on my paper that I didn't put.
On your patty paper?
No, on my paper.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't even, like, draw through it.
Then just erase it, I'd say.
It won't erase, though.
Oh. Okay. It's a stubborn point. Well, I will come take a look here in a second and see what the deal is.
I read an article about it. Why not? Are we done?
Not yet, no. Are you done constructing? Or doing your rotation? Okay, cool. Okay, and that's prime. Okay. Anyone still need more time? A little bit? All right. So I'll get that to you guys. I'll tell you in just a second here. So there's the there are your two rotations. Okay. Make sure you label things correctly too, by the way. So for example, U rotates all the way around here to be U prime. T rotates around to be T prime, S to S prime, obviously, right? Okay. There's your 125 degree clockwise rotation. Here's your 40 degree counterclockwise rotation. Okay. So we're all good on that? I have one more thing I want to show you, and then we'll be done. Okay, one more thing. So we're going to skip this coordinates. We're going to skip the coordinate stuff. Okay, we'll do that tomorrow. But I have one more thing I want to look at, and it's basically this. Okay. Specifying. So please turn to page 92. Page 92. We're going to look to explain 3. We're looking at explain number 3. Specifying rotation angles. So page number 92. Specifying rotation angles. Okay, this goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about, except it's easier, a lot less work. All we're doing here is finding, Derek, all we're doing here is finding the angle of rotation and the direction of the rotation in the given figure, and point P is the center of rotation. So right here we've got the image of our original, right? There's our original, there's our image, or there's the pre-image or original, there's the image, and there's our point P we rotated around. So how can we go about figuring out the angle of rotation? Well, it's very easy. It's the same thing we did before. Let's draw a segment from P to one of our points over here. So pick one of the points. A, that's a good one. It's the closest one. I like that. It doesn't have to be the closest one. I think it's the easiest way to do that. Okay, so we'll draw from P to A, and then where must I draw another segment from P to what other point must I draw to? It must go to A prime. Very good. You must match it up to A prime. Okay, or else you get the wrong rotation. Okay? So first of all, can someone tell me what direction is our rotation? It's counterclockwise. You can abbreviate that CCW if you want to. Counterclockwise. And then clockwise would just be CW. Okay? But we still need to come up with an angle, and that's where our protractors come in. We're just going to measure the angle that we just drew right there. Okay, so I put my protractor down. Shh. Derek, Jason, which set of numbers am I going to use here? Here's where PA is, right, lined up. The inside set. Question, sorry? A little bit longer, you mean? Yep, I just drew them. P to A prime.
Do you want us to find the degrees?
Yes, in degrees. Angle of rotation. What's that? You got 80 or 90?
I got like 90.
Let me see here. The way I have it lined up, mine looks like it's like I gotta actually extend my line here some because it's not quite long enough. If your angle's not long enough, you can extend that side as long as you need it to be. Okay, I'm getting like 80 degrees, Zari, is what I got, exactly 80 degrees. 80 degrees counterclockwise. So 80 degrees counterclockwise is the answer there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there. So for your assignment, and yes, I'm going to have you guys take home your piece of patty paper and your protractor. You're going to need this protractor to take, so take it with you tonight. Okay, so your homework on page 95, okay, 95, I want you to do numbers 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. 2, 3, 4, 9, I'm going to put it on the board here. Hold on, I'm going to put it on the board.